Welcome to the Werribee International Horse Centre this morning, where a large media throng have joined us here to watch international track work. One of the most interested onlookers was Luca Cumani. Trainer jetted in from the UK last night. He was down here to have a look at his team. He's really pleased with Managar, who of course comes through that impressive performance in the Caulfield Cup.
I thought it was a good run, not as good as Shocking's, but it was a good run, and he'll improve for going 2 miles as opposed to a mile and a half. He's a horse that will stay at 3,200 metres, no problem, and he has a finishing kick.
Not all went according to plan for Drunken Sailor in the Geelong Cup. They're waiting to see whether he can squeeze into the Melbourne Cup, but if not, it looks likely that the Queen's Cup on the final day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival might be his next target.
If we run him on Saturday, he's not going to win the Lexus hands down, so he's going to have a hard race, and I don't think he's the sort of horse that can back up 3 days later. So perhaps he'd be wiser, if he doesn't get in, it'd be wiser to wait for the consolation race the following Saturday.
Cumani is pleased with the look of 2008 Melbourne Cup runner-up Bauer, but he knows that he's got a challenge ahead of him. He's even subscribing to Bart Cummings' theory about the amount of miles the horse needs in his legs.
It was a long shot that he would make it, but his second run after 2 years off was very, very good. And so he's now run 2,800 metres and 2,200 metres. So that's a total of about 4,000 metres. So he's about 6,000 metres short of Bart's reckon 10,000 metres that you need in a preparation to get to the Melbourne Cup. So I got no chance.
Sol McHugh's looking after Mr Medici, the Hong Kong star, and he thinks this horse has improved out of the Caulfield Cup. It's just that question about the 2 miles.
Obviously, yeah, it's uncharted territory, certainly, but that's said and done. We think he'll relish it, you know, definitely in the way the pace of the race will be won, and we've got a huge plus now with Darren Beedman in the saddle, which is wonderful, wonderful jockey.
McHugh was an interested onlooker at Moonee Valley on Saturday. He thinks it So You Think may well be the best horse over 2,000 metres anywhere in the world.
Oh, So You Think, he's a phenomenal creature, isn't he? Now, I know that Bart Cummings doesn't tend to travel his horses much, but in my view at the minute he's the best 10 furlong horse in training on the planet at the moment. That horse can go anywhere. I'm just hoping and praying that he doesn't get 2 miles, and because if he does, guys, you're going to have, that's the Melbourne Cup winner, I would say, for the foreseeable future.
And the Japanese team are happy with Tokai Trick. He's come through the run in the Caulfield Cup well. They're just hoping for firmer ground come the first Tuesday in November.
Prefer dry weather and better track condition. He can stay in the dead or wet track, but not too heavy like the Caulfield Cup.
Kerrin McAvoy is on the comeback trail at the moment. He was here to ride Holberg in his final hit out. Just the query about whether this horse will make it into the final field.
He felt good, yep. He jumped off and done a 1,400 metre piece of work, and travelled really well throughout his work and finished the work off in nice style. He seems fit and well, and seems as though he's a horse that's settled into his surroundings here at Werribee and settled into Australia. So, the Godolphin team are just hopeful that he can secure a run in the Melbourne Cup now, which at this stage it looks as though he might not.
And Kerrin is pleased with the way his recovery from injury is going.
Held up well to the first week of my race riding comeback, and I had 4 meetings during the week with a couple of winners, and touch wood, the back's pulled up fine.
Well, that's been international track work this morning at Werribee. We also saw Profound Beauty out in action for Dermot Weld as well. There is a number of horses getting ready for the Emirates Melbourne Cup here. Stay tuned for more news.